friends, and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel, the channel where I like to talk about properties for sale in Italy. So generally I focus on selected areas, like for example in today's video. So I'm searching for a property with particular characteristics. Why? Because I've been contacted privately by someone and asked me to search for a house with certain kind of characteristics. And that's why, anyway, I start here the video from today from Idealista, because I had to draw the area. And so basically I'm gonna zoom in. As you see, we are in Abruzzo region. Now let me read you the characteristic that had been asked to search for this type of property. Now, first one, I've been asked to search for a property in Abruzzo region, where there is a high demand of expats searching for properties for sale. Then has to be a detached house, semi-detached or townhouse, not a countryside house, okay? Then with a maximum budget of 50,000 euros, all right? Then no renovation, possibly with no renovation, or if there is a little renovation with a maximum budget of 20,000 euro. Okay, then I've been asked to search in a small town surrounded by nature. Then also 15 minutes driving from a quite big town, okay. Then 30 minutes driving from the sea, and at the same time, not far from the mountains. And basically, this is the area that I drew here on Idealista. So basically, I focus on the northern part of Abruzzo region, the part that is at the border with the Marche region. So now I'll go back to Idealista later on. Now we go on Google Maps to show you the exact location and the distance from the main important destinations. Anyway, in my search here in this area that I draw, there are 208 houses for sale that I drawn. All right, so now let's go here. Basically, I already selected Rocciano. So this is the town that I found the property for sale. All right, so we are talking about here, this area in the northern part of Abruzzo region. So basically, as we see, we are, let's say, close to Teramo. All right, so Teramo is the capital of Teramo province. Okay, so basically here is where Teramo is. And also we are not far from the sea and we are not far from the mountains. Now, let's show you the distances from Rocciano, that is a small town. Now, Rocciano is only 150 inhabitants, but is close to Teramo. Teramo is the capital of Teramo province, and Teramo is around 50,000 inhabitants. So Teramo is a quite big town. So at the moment we start to see the distance from Rocciano to Teramo. And let's see how far, if we stay into the 15 minutes that have been asked to me. All right, so perfect. We see here that from Rocciano, okay, the distance to reach Teramo center. Again, Teramo is a quite big town, capital of the province, 50,000 inhabitants. There is a train station, there is an hospital, there are all the services that we might need. So it's 7.6 kilometers, 11 minutes driving. All right, perfect. So we are close to a decent sized town. Now I want to check how far is from the sea. And so I'm gonna select, for example, or Giulianova or Roseto degli Abruzzi. In this case, I'm gonna select Giulianova. So let's see how far is Rocciano from Giulianova. Okay. So it says 35 minutes driving. Okay, this person that asked me, it says that has the car, so has no problem to drive from one place to another. Okay. All right, so we are around 35 minutes driving from the sea. So I'd say the closer destination can even be under 35. Let's say here where it says Colonna Spiaggia, maybe 30 minutes driving. So we are in a kind of decent distance from the sea. Rocciano is around 400 meters above the sea level. So we are not in a mountain area. We are still kind of not very high in altitude. All right, so Rocciano to Giulianova. Now I also want to check. I also want to check the distance from Rome. So let's say because they might fly to Rome destination. So let's see how far is Rocciano from Rome. Now it says 2 hours and 17 minutes by the motorway. Now, because there is the motorway that connects anyway Rome from the eastern side of the coast of Italy. So that goes here down to Pescara direction and so on. So Roma, L'Aquila, okay, and then from L'Aquila we are driving down to Teramo and then from Teramo to Rocciano. 2 hours distance from Rome. Okay, then anyway, I'm not gonna. I can actually search as well for Ascoli Piceno, but Ascoli Piceno, we are already into the Marche region. Okay, we are not far from Marche region. It says that it takes 54 minutes, is around 45 kilometers. Okay, my friends, so basically this is what we needed to know about this town and the distances. And now we go on Idealista to see the search, the results that I had in my search. Now, before I go in the search, I want to show you that I selected only houses, no flats, like because had been asked me like this, no auction properties, and properties in good condition. So these are the only filters that I put in the area that I drawn. All right, so now let's go and let's see the properties. Let's go to the list. Okay, now here I'm gonna select from the lowest price, but here we can see we have a beautiful property for 350,000 euro. If this is your budget, you can get, anyway, this is in the area that I drawn, so it's a quite big area. Now the location, for example, of this house could be very close to the sea. Offers for sale in Colonna Spiaggia, a splendid, completely independent villa located just 3 minutes from the beach. So we are in a very touristic area. Okay, but let's go back to our selection. And then now I want to show you the property that I found. So in my opinion, the one that it stays in this budget. Now we have a first house, terraced house in Villa Gesso. So we are in the northern part of Teramo, also quite close. But anyway, this house is not bad, I have to say. I should investigate a bit better, but anyway, this is an alternative. For example, obviously I shared the link of this selection. Like this, they can see all the properties that I found in my search. But anyway, here we have two more interesting properties. Now, one is this one, detached house in Via San Benedetto, Ovest, Teramo. So we are in Rocciano. This is the house that I have selected. Then there is another one for 49,000. This is for 45,000. So 100 square meters. We are under 500 euro per square meter. And this one here, 140 square meters for 49,000 euro. So here we are, let's say, around 330, 350 euro per square meter. So the second one, this for 49,000 euro, it's a tiny bit cheaper than this one. This is also an interesting property. So I might make a video about this property. Let me know under the comments section if you want me to make a video about this property. But now I enter into the property that I have selected. Okay, so let's start from this property here. Now, detached house for sale in Via San Benedetto. They don't disclose the exact address. We know we are in Rocciano. 45,000 euro, 100 square meters, 6 rooms. Let's read the description, okay? Now, it's a quite long description, but it's worth it to be read. Now, for sale, Teramo, Rocciano, hamlet a few kilometers from Piazza Garibaldi in the direction of Teramo, in a sunny position, a portion of a sky-earth building, free on 3 sides on 3 levels, composed as follows. Ground floor, so we have 2-room warehouse, used with an independent entrance and direct access to the road, the height of which, as per cadastral plan, 2.8 meters. The warehouse is paved and has double glazed aluminum windows, which should make it light and airy. So here we are in the first part of the house, which is a ground independent part of the house, generally used as a cellar or as a storage room. Okay, then we have first floor, which is accessed via an independent entrance with a gate on the street. A small flight of stairs leads to the floor as follows. An eating kitchen with working fireplace and a dining room. A small toilet serves the day plan. Then we have a second floor. So this is the first floor. On the first floor, again, we have eating kitchen with working fireplace and dining room. So it's all, let's say, one big open space, living room, dining area, and eating kitchen, plus a small toilet on the ground floor. The house has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Then on the second floor, we access via an internal staircase. We find 2 double bedrooms, each served by a level balcony. Another toilet serving the floor is located in one of the 2 bedrooms. So the second bathroom is an ensuite bathroom. Now the attic, the attic in its raw state is accessible via a retractable staircase located inside of one of the 2 bedrooms. Now, the attic is not a space where it's possible to live by the cadastral plan. All right, you can just use it as a storage place, but not to live. The property is immediately functional. The roof is reinforced concrete and is in excellent condition, as are the gutters. The windows in perfect condition are in aluminum with double glazing. Heating is provided by a pellet stove which serves both floors. Now, there's no gas heating here, but anyway, by what I see, it's a common thing to have the pellet heating system, which is working quite well. I see many people have this, and it's also quite cheap to run. On the ground floor, there are also 2 very small closets in the raw state. This is an extra, okay, can be used as a cellar, while the ground floor can be used as an office, as a studio, as a hobby room. But the ground floor, there are also 2 small closets in a raw state, used like cellars, can be used. Then the house, free and immediately usable, is positioned in front of the Church of Santa Lucia, so in the town of Rocciano. The sale includes 3 small plots of land, also in the hamlet of Rocciano, falling with the agricultural area, so it's not close to the building and distant from each other, and precisely, anyway, by the cadastral plan, you know you'll be the owner of this plot of lands. One thing here in the south of Italy in particular, it's not a common thing to have your garden, okay? That's why people are living in townhouses, but everyone has his own plot of land, maybe 500, 1 kilometer driving from the house. Everyone has his garden, plot of land out from the town. So plot of land of the surface of approximately 16.80 acres. Another plot of land of 4.2 acres. So 420 acres, 1680 acres. Plot of land here, another one, 290 acres. So there is extra land. I don't know if it's agricultural, what type of land is, should be investigated. Now, Rocciano is a quite fraction of the municipality of Teramo, so we are in Teramo municipality, which rises about 450 meters above sea level, not far from the towns of Frondarola and Spiano, and from the crossroads for Valle San Giovanni. Now, Rocciano is currently 1 kilometer and 1.7 kilometers from the main road 80 of Gran Sasso, in Teramo, Montorio, and so on. Now, let's see the basic features. Detached house, 3 floors, 85 square meters floor area, 6 rooms, 2 bathrooms, balcony, good condition, storage room. Anyway, individual heating, it also says natural gas, but that should be investigated because anyway, it says that there is also the pellet stove plus fireplace. So it's possible to upgrade the heating system with a thermal fireplace, for example. So there are several options. There is also the chance to put solar panels on top of the house. But so let's go and let's see the pictures after this quite long introduction. So this is the house from outside, and overall the house looks in a good condition. Okay, basically here we have these 2 windows that belong to the ground floor. So this extra part of the house, which has access from this side of the house, but it's not connected with the first and the second floor. So it's a ground floor, let's say, studio, we can call it. All right, so and then anyway, we have the balcony on the second floor. I see the roof and the gutters are in a good condition. So from the exterior part of the house, I don't see any needs. I don't see this house in need of any type of renovation. Again, here we have the entrance for the ground floor. They are still showing the property. Okay, this is the other side above the 2 windows of the ground floor. So we have the house is free on 3 sides, which is very, very good. Semi-detached. This is another balcony that belongs to the house with a light on the balcony. I'd say this is a small window in the attic area, but again, the attic, it's not possible to build or live. The chimney for the fireplace. Okay, here we have another picture. Basically, the entrance of the house is this one here. All right, with the yellow, painted in yellow. Okay, we are back now to the house here. They're showing. Here you can dry your laundry, typical of this type of balconies. It's a lovely house. I like it. I see the gas heating system, so I don't know why they say it's heated only by the pellet stove. Here we have beautiful, lovely steps. Probably here on the left-hand side, at the bottom of the picture, we might have the entrance of these 2 small cellars. Okay, here we see this door here and this one here. So independent. All right. Beautiful entrance. I like it. So we are still outside. These are the 2 windows of the ground floor. Here, 1 window on the first. Okay. Many pictures of the exterior part. They want to show, anyway, the beauty of the house. Okay, here we are on what is called the ground floor. As we see, this independent part of the house has a lovely kitchen. So I'd say it's also possible to live separately. It's a small studio. Anyway, it's possible to have a sofa bed here that you can open at night. It's a second property, let's say, with double glaze, I mean, with new windows. Anyway, the floor looks in a good condition. Everything looks well looked after in this property, I have to say. So there are two windows that gives light. It's not a cellar. Here, usually, obviously, they use it more as a storage place, but I see there is also an extra room here. Maybe they used to hang here cold meats like salami, prosciutto, and so on. Wine here. Interesting. So there is this open space on the ground floor, which it looks quite interesting. A lot of pots and pans. There are many pictures of this property for sale. I hope you are still watching and you are interested into this video. Anyway, here as we see, we are on the ground floor. Okay, now here I see a lot of bottle of beers. I see a lot of Moretti, but I guess here we have passata. Probably that's what they do. Generally Italian, they wash the bottles, and then when it's time to make passata, they put it in these type of bottles. Anyway, this is an extra room, always on the ground floor. Quite interesting. There's no bathroom here. Maybe here it could be possible to make an extra bathroom. I don't know. Used anyway as a storage room. Interesting. New doors. I can see there is a new door. The floor is in a very good condition. Again, I say that everything is in order in this house. Here we have a map of Abruzzo. Actually, you probably cannot see, is on the right, the bottom right of the picture. Okay, so here we are into the property already. So here we are on the first floor. Okay, and I see the kitchen. Eating kitchen. So basically here we are. Let's go back one second. So yes, from here, so we have the entrance door. Then we have a lovely floor that looks like cotto, ceramic style tiles, which they're kind of, there's a high demand for this type of floor. Then I have to say that overall the house looks in a good condition. The electrical implant doesn't look old. It looks like they renovated, but they kept the old floors, which I like. It's always nice to keep. The kitchen looks quite new. So here we are always in this eating kitchen. Could be used as a dining area and anyway, kitchen dining area. Here I think we are already in the living room. Okay, so here we have the kitchen. Here there is the entrance door on the right. So this is the entrance door. Here we have a toilet, all right, a small toilet on the ground floor. I'd say this house is perfect for two people, okay, for a couple, or for a single or for a couple. I would say no more than two, but you can accommodate guests. That's the thing, because there are two bedrooms. Again, overall, I see the house is in a good condition. Okay, wait, no. So the fireplace is still in the eating kitchen. So we have dining area, kitchen, bathroom, and fireplace, which could be made like a thermal fireplace. Here we are still in the kitchen. Here you can see the stairs leading to the entrance. Here we have the bathroom. The bathroom is kind of not very, let's say, new, but it's not in a bad condition. So, and it's so small that it won't be expensive even to do any sort of renovation in this bathroom. Then we also have a window. For example, I would remove this bath and I would put a shower. That's what I would do, because it's not convenient to take a shower in this type of baths. Okay. Overall, anyway, here was painted like that. I don't see a damage, any sort of damage. Was painted with this type of blue. So here we are still in the kitchen, dining area. Many pictures, this property. And now here we are entering into the living room. Because anyway, the kitchen is quite spacious to have a dining table here. That's perfect. Then I see an extra dining table in the living room, which it might not be needed. Here it's a picture of the kitchen from the living room. Here, this is another picture of the kitchen. Okay. Anyway, it's a quite spacious kitchen, possible where to spend, anyway, daytime. And here now, it's a pity this poor picture, they are not really showing the quality of the living area, but so here we see the pellet stove, okay? So there is fireplace, there is pellet stove. Okay, now probably here they had the television. I see the electrical implant is new. I like the floor. They kept this old floor, the chess style floor. So here we have all the fumes for the pellet stove. I tell you, a lot of Italians at the moment are installing pellet stoves because are quite cheap. Here we have a window on the left. So we are still on the first floor. Here we have a library. For example, I would remove this dining table from the living area. As we see, we have a lovely couch in the living area, just under the stairs. Obviously, it should be seen without furniture. Anyway, here it gives a better image, a better picture of the living area. Okay. Anyway, for 45,000 euro, I'd say this house has everything in a good order. We are under 50,000 euro. Now, I keep going quite fast simply because, anyway, electrical implant, they're all new, I see. Maybe some little works, but minor things. Maybe here they just have to put the case of the socket. Okay. So here we have the stairs leading to the two bedrooms. So at the end of the stairs, we have the master bedroom, and then here on the left, there is another bedroom. There are two double bedrooms. The stairs are fine. I'd say for this price, the house for me is in a very, it's a bargain, I have to say. So here we are in the bedroom. I can see already the ensuite bathroom here. Okay, we have new windows, new balcony doors. Also post chance to put solar panels. So we have lovely view from the balcony. The view on the hills of Abruzzo. Okay, here we are still in the master ensuite bedroom. Here we have a picture of the bathroom. Okay. It's a quite spacious, anyway, bedroom. There are these two bedrooms here on the top of the floor. We have another window in the hall. Okay. Okay, it's a bright bedroom. I don't see, for example, air conditioning system, which could be put, but so anyway, this is the bathroom. Pity they're not showing proper pictures of the bathrooms, but overall, to be an ensuite, all I see, for example, are the new windows, double glazed windows in PVC, which is very good. So then this bedroom has a double exposure because we have a window here and also a balcony door here, which I love. For example, always to have double exposure. Here we are still in this bedroom. Here we are in the second bedroom. The floor of these bedrooms are not really the best. I'd see they are not 100% condition, but overall, I would make it. I would keep. I think when they renovated the property, they just decided to keep the old floors. Okay, a map of the world. This is the roof of the church, of the local church. We are in the second bedroom here. All right, so also quite spacious. All right. Okay, here we are in the attic, which is not possible to anyway to use only to use as a storage place because as you see the height is very low. Okay, there are many pictures. This is the other door to enter in the second bedroom. There is a little step here to enter into the bedroom. Okay, here we have the floor plan. Basically, this is the ground floor. So with this independence entrance on the right, first floor with the entrance on the left with kitchen and living room, two bathrooms, two bedrooms and bathroom on top on the second floor. I think, okay, let's watch the video. Let's go full screen. It's a 3 minutes video. Let's just watch. So we are back into the entrance door. Okay, so here we are in the kitchen area with the bathroom here. Anyway, overall, I see this house is in a good condition. For 45,000 euro, I would go for this type of property. I don't see it as a very big investment. I'd say you can also upgrade the property with less than 20,000 euro if you really want, just maybe to work a bit on the bathrooms and on the heating system. But I'd say the heating system, it's working quite well. I think they removed the heaters, so, and they just kept the pellet stove, which is heating quite well. So here we are in the bedrooms. From here you can access to the attic. Okay. So this is one bedroom. I'd say it's the perfect house for a couple, for two people who wants to live in a small town, not in the countryside, with a slow life, surrounded by nature, with also plot of land. So I'd say for this price, this house for me, again, I repeat, it's a bargain. So here we are in the bedroom with the second bathroom, with the ensuite bathroom. Obviously, the furniture, you also have to see the property without furniture. Okay. Anyway, new windows, two balconies. Both of the bedrooms have balconies. Not very big, but anyway, lovely balconies. All right. Anyway, consider that there are three floors. There is the independent ground floor, first floor, and second floor connected. Even from this side, you can see the hills, the church, the historical part, the mountains. So anyway, it's a lovely view. It's a townhouse. All right, my friends, so here we have watched the video, and now the last thing I want to do, okay, it's just to see on Google Street View. Okay, so basically this is the town. I zoom out a bit. As I said, we are 10-15 minutes driving. Here we have Conad, retail shop. So we are kind of very close. Then there are other towns like Spiano, Frondarola. But so now let's zoom in. Rocciano. I want to go on Street View. It's a small town. Again, they say is 100 inhabitants. Now let's go from here just to have a walk in the town. Anyway, my friends, in today's video, I forgot to tell you to put like and subscribe to hype the video. Beautiful properties here, beautiful, lovely houses. Anyway, put like and subscribe. It's a must if you have watched up to now. Anyway, it's a beautiful town. Now I'll see if I'm able to move forward. Surrounded by nature. The Italian slow life. Here you can enjoy the Italian slow life in a very nice community. These type of towns have very nice and lovely communities. Then, anyway, we are close to the sea. Again, we are not far from the sea. It's only 30 minutes driving, as I said. Here, again, we are in this lovely part of the town. Now, I see the church. So now I guess the house is this one at the corner here. Let's see if we can go further. It doesn't. Okay, let's move. All right. So here we are close to the church. Let's see. All right. Okay, it allowed me to move further. And so, yes, basically, now this is the house. So this is the ground floor entrance, as you see. This is the entrance of the ground floor. These are the two windows of the ground floor. This is the window of the kitchen, the window of the living room, the balcony of one bedroom, the window and the balcony of the other bedroom on this side. So there is a kind of a good exposure to the sun. All right, my friends, let me know what you think about this lovely property, which I found here. I have to say, okay, here I'm still in the video. Okay, here we moved upstairs and so on. Anyway, a property for sale in Abruzzo, not far from Teramo, not far from the sea, not far from the mountains, not far from Rome. So 100 square meters, 6 rooms, 2 independent, 1 on 2 floor, 1 ground floor, 45,000 euro. What else? What else I can say about this house? I'd say this is the type of house that I would look for if I'm looking to live not far from a big town. Anyway, my friends, so this is today's video. Abruzzo, Rocciano, Teramo province, Abruzzo region, not far from the sea, not far from the mountains. Put like and subscribe if you have watched up to now, and I'll see you here on Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel to my next video. Bye!